Okay, cool. So some deals build pipeline, others just build drama. This is sales tactics from the hoods. We take real deals, drop them on the table, and ask one question. Are we actually closing this or just making ourselves feel busy? So today I've got Fady from Topo.io with me. And Topo sees how GTM teams run plays across ton of companies. So Fede has probably seen every type of chaos you can imagine in a deal. Fede, thank you for jumping in, man.
Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, I think one of the problems you get once you have 10 to 15 demos a day is you have a lot of pipeline and you need to pick your battles. So yeah, qualifying well, making sure it's a real thing in the pipe is very, very important.
Awesome. So listen, Fede, as I told you before we start recording, this is supposed to be very chill. It's just us. We are just recording it to try and bring and add some value to others. And the whole idea is to challenge a deal that I currently have in my pipeline. Just for the sake of being able to share all details, I changed the company name, the deal name, people's, blah, 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 but everything is real. And the
Okay, I
whole
will, I will not spoil that it is OpenAI in the pipe.
idea Surely it will come someday. They will need us at some point. And the whole idea is to let you speak, have your opinion on what I'm doing, and then to spice things up. We will just check at the end of our discussion
Yeah.
what nudge is telling me to do to move this deal forward. And we will see if you agree or disagree. If you disagree, it will be funnier.
Yeah.
And what I will do is I'll follow my nudge recommendation and see
Okay.
at the end if it had me close the deal or not.
I love it. Live
Okay?
experimentation. Let's go.
Awesome. So, to give some context to people that will watch this, the deal we are going to review today is called Stark Orbit. It's a deal with a seed stage B2B SaaS company in Amsterdam. They are generating between 1 and 2 million ARR. Uh, they hit PMF and they are starting to scale. So, moving from a full founder led sales motion to a more sales-led motion. So they are hiring AEs and trying to process to build up a sales playbook. So something that seems and feels like kind of common for you, right, Fede, as you are going almost through the same stage.
No, that's very true. And I actually prepared a couple of questions because as I'm living this kind of same situation here, I
Okay.
think it makes it very interesting.
Awesome. So they are using HubSpot as a CRM. They're using Slack, Gmail. For now, they don't use, or actually, each one of the team is using his own meeting recording tool. So it's not centralized. We have so far two people involved. Mila, who is the head of RevOps, and with whom I started the discussion from an outbound call. And then she involved Khalil, who is the sales manager. And basically, they shared a lot with me about their pain, what they are trying to solve, and stuff like that. But I won't give more details. I leave it to you, Fedi. So that's from a global perspective, what's happening in the deal. We had the first meeting, a discovery call, ask them a bunch of questions. So I'll leave you the mic. Tell me what you want to know to move this deal forward and how you'd move it forward.
Yeah, I would love to understand two things from the call with Mira and Khalil. I'm gonna do the classic. This is one of my playbooks, is the classical gap selling thing. I would love to understand two things. What is the current sales process? Not
Mhm.
tools, the real process. And why did they book the meeting with you?
Okay, awesome. So one thing I'll do is I'm going to share with you everything that I have in store, and we will together ask my best friend here questions, and hopefully she'll be able to answer.
Okay. All
So,
right.
uh, tell me again, what was the question?
The question, I will start maybe with why did they book the meeting with you in the first place?
Okay, for the Star Orbit deal, can you tell me why they booked the meeting? And the second question was,
The second question is, how is their sales process today? How many meetings? How long is the sales cycle? What's the process kind of thing?
could they tell me everything we learned from our discovery call? Fun thing we can do while Adi, go and looks up everything she has in store is I'll tell you what I remember today from the discussion we had it is 2 weeks ago. It was the 9th of January.
Yeah.
Basically, why they booked the meeting. I try to identify some buying intent signals to check up with whom I can connect, right? So what I've seen from they were hiring account executives, they are using HubSpot, and in the job posting that they had, they were referencing some sales methodologies, how they are trying to set the playbook and stuff like that. So I reached out saying, "Hey guys, that's exactly what we do. This is how we can help you out." Mila said, "Yes, okay. We are in the process. Beside hiring people, we are also looking for tools that can help us structure the process and the playbook that we are trying to set up."
So you had the right person at the right time.
Yeah. So basically, that's something that you do at Topo, right? Which is identify the very high intent buying signals and reach out to the right people. For now, for a company of at my stage, I'm doing this basically manually.
Yeah.
I'm going out looking for their tech stack, looking for job postings and stuff like that to be able to reach out when it's relevant for people to be in discussion with us.
No, great. I think it's the right approach. And Rida, my question is, after we had the discovery with them,
Mhm.
um, when you ask them, like, right now they're hiring AEs, they did mention, I think they have HubSpot, they have their sales playbook. Let's
Mhm.
see what Adi is saying here about like what's the current process there they have.
Yeah.
All right, we see scaling their sales process, hiring AEs.
Yeah,
Okay.
inconsistent note taking across the team. Some write 3 lines, other paste words of text. Dear review are messy. Next step often missing after meetings, leading to stalled deals. Manual HubSpot cleanup. So they have a lot of reasons why they booked the meeting actually.
Oh, I see. I see. So things are not going very clean, and like the sales blue, there is no sales book being applied.
Exactly.
Um, Rida, you did mention that Khalil was the sales manager, and I think you said he already built a sales playbook.
Yeah, he's building it actually. So basically, cannot remember I don't even know if I have the CEO name or not, but
Yeah.
CEO reached this critical milestone by himself of 1 million ARI,
Okay.
hire Khalil in the first place,
Okay.
try and give him all the sales responsibility.
Yeah.
Khalil did well, and he's not able anymore to manage everything that is happening throughout their sales motion. So they hired Mila to take care of all the revenue operation side,
Yeah.
and now they are hiring salespeople.
Right. Very clear for me. And the other thing for me, I would love to understand here, also that either from you or from Adi,
Mhm.
is today, do they have some metrics on what's happening there, meaning closing rate, how many deals are managed by sales, stuff
Okay.
like this? Just to understand, I, I've seen many companies, Rida, that have different note takers, different notes.
Mhm.
But sometimes it's a nice to have. Sometimes the issue is the closing rate is very volatile or very low. So I'm trying to understand basically is it an issue of closing rate, of sales cycle, of besides the normal CRM hygiene.
Keep in mind, Fady, that we can discover together stuff that I did not do.
All
Meaning,
right.
actually, I cannot remember if I asked them about the metrics and stuff. And I'm going to be very honest with it. So if
Yeah.
we spot and that's actually the point of this discussion,
Yeah.
it's to identify if I asked the right questions to
Yeah.
be able to move forward with the deal. And if not, write them down, see if Adi spotted the same gaps and
Yeah.
use them for the next meeting.
All right. This is very useful for me, like the structured metrics breakdown. The
Okay.
table is very, very good to read. Key approver, messy, piecing context, scatter matter, shadowing nation. Okay. Cool, 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 cool. For me, this is interesting. So Khalil, sorry, so Rida, I would love to ask you
Mhm.
what happened in the call. Can you give me some context? So you did the discovery. I see you asked a lot of these questions. I'm asking myself as well.
Yeah.
What happened after?
So usually what I do and how I run my discovery calls pretty much the same is I start with a relevant icebreaker based on the kind of discussion I had
Yeah,
to book the meeting, whether it's over a phone call or a LinkedIn message or whatever, to
yeah,
make the discussion relevant and to try to give them the mic so they can feel free to express whatever they feel urgent to solve for them. So never start with a specific question. I start with something quite broad so they can start speaking. You I usually see the discovery call as a kind of session with your therapist.
yeah,
You come up, you are fed up with something or something is hurting you, and you
yeah.
can feel free to say whatever you feel relevant to the discussion.
All right. Okay,
One
yeah,
opener, and then I listen to them, ask question to somehow try and direct the discussion towards something we can help them solve. And then something when I was sales, never did, which is show the solution at the first call. Usually,
yeah,
we close the session with a very specific point that I've been able to measure or to feel the urgency to solve that we can solve and show them and say, hey, by the way, if you want, I can show you how we can help you centralize. And for them, it was how I can help you have clean data in HubSpot.
So you take one outcome to go tackle, and that's your
Yeah.
next.
The one that I feel the most relevant for
Yeah.
them and that we can easily solve. So a
What
quick
was
win out of the discussion.
Rida? What was the thing in this case of Mila and Khalil?
So the one thing was what happens after a meeting, how we can have the same structure of post-meeting notes or debrief inside HubSpot on which we can build a clear next step for that deal, whether it's going to move forward or not. Remember what we spoke about yesterday for you at Topo, which is
Yeah.
qualified or not?
Yeah.
It's almost the same
Okay.
because the idea is I don't want to overcomplicate things for them because they are
Yeah.
starting almost from zero.
Yeah.
So what's a quick win we can have? How we can have a clean data easily that can help you move the deal forward.
And this is where my question will come, Rida. The discussion we had for us yesterday was because I'm having 10 demos a day.
Yeah,
You mentioned that here Khalil is having two or three or four meetings, I think, per day.
a day, yeah.
A day. My question is, if you help them move the deal forward with the notes, I suppose their issue is a bit different than mine. It's not only the timing, it's about like nudging the deal, understanding what piece is missing. Is it this
Yeah,
kind of thing? So this is basically the reality of them. They need, when they move a deal, they want to understand what's missing. Do they miss a decision maker? Do they miss a pay
exactly.
nut? Okay.
As they are not going to be the deal owners anymore.
Yeah.
Khalil, the CEO, they want to have some kind of control over what's
Yeah.
happening to make sure that exit criteria from a stage to another are respected, that we are asking the right question at the right stage, and they are also going to face the same issue as you are, which is too much for for someone to manage alone,
Yeah.
because they are also in the plan of hiring SDRs.
All right. So basically, they want to be assured when they hire and they scale the sales team, they're sure that everything in the pipeline is really in that stage of the
Exactly.
pipeline based on their playbook, right?
Exactly.
Okay. My question also, Rida, this is very important for me to understand. What is stopping them from doing this? So manually, you can always do stuff. Is it the time? Is
Yeah.
it the data?
I think what I understood is the CEO tried a lot by himself. Um, can you tell me about the tool fatigue that the CEO mentioned? So the CEO tried a lot of things, workflows, N8, and with Clay, with
Yeah.
Fireflies, the GTM engineering bullshit that everyone is trying to apply, thinking it's easy to do.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, previous tool purchases have resulted in no adoption rates. The team has bought tools that people don't actually use. This creates skepticism about new tool implementation. CEO wants assurance that any solution will be adopted by reps. Focus is on practical usage rather than just purchasing.
Rida, besides Khalil, Mila, and the CEO, is there any other salespeople involved, like maybe CRO or something
Yeah,
like that?
there is a VP of sales that has been recently hired, who is going to be my economic buyer and
Did you meet
planned
with him
it.
yet?
Huh?
Did you meet with him yet?
No, we have a meeting planned on the 2nd of February. So basically, what we are going to discuss today and what Adi will recommend me to do will put in play in the next meeting next week.
All right. And I suppose you already sent the follow-up after the call to Mila and Khalil.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we had. Let me show you. We had some email exchanged.
With Jonas?
No, with Mila and Khalil in preparation for uh, Yeah, so Wednesday, 3 p.m., loop in, not we are HubSpot, Slack, no gong today. Uh, invite, I send the invite. So here is the next steps I suggested as a follow-up. 45 minutes with Jonas to align on what success looks like,
Yeah,
what data you have today, and rollout approach that avoids extra admin. So one thing they've been insisting on is whatever thing they want to put in place, whether it's an additional tool like ours or a workflow automation that they will build, they want it to be hassle-free with no extra admin work.
yeah. And okay, well, for me, I think I got, I would say, a lot of elements that are quite important for me.
Okay.
You can always have more in the discovery, of course. Um, just to recap things, and you correct me if I have something wrong here, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, of course.
I feel that the pain has been sensed by the RevOps because the CEO tried to put their nose in this, and obviously the RevOps is the person that will maintain the thing, so they don't want to keep admin there. So
Yeah.
they are the one that took the call with you. They are hiring AEs, and the sales manager wants to make sure there is a playbook played there. And he has Jonas, the VP of sales, that is watching over the shoulder to make sure how good the playbook is ready before hiring.
Yeah.
There,
And one thing that I'll add on top of that, sorry for interrupting you, is the fact that they are all almost new hires. So everyone has something to prove to
yeah,
someone else.
I
And
see.
I'm very cautious on making the right decision because they cannot afford the luxury of adding another tool that won't work, especially that they have previous bad experiences with other vendors.
Course. No, for me, it's very clear. For me, this is very clear. How do you want to take it from here, Ida? Do you want to?
So I want the move from the hood. We are something we didn't mention. We are both Tunisians, so the hood for us is almost the same. It's the same Tunisian hood. So I want that spicy harissa hood move, and then I want the more serious one. Even though you can stick to only one, which is the hood move that could work in real life.
All right. I will. Let me start. Let me start with the hood one.
Okay.
This is something I do in some deals. The hood one will be. I will ask the CEO directly on a DM on LinkedIn or
Okay.
DM him. Say, enjoy the call. Ask him about the close rate they have. And then I tell him the reason I'm asking him this is because a lot of the companies I work with, they look at weighted pipeline, which the closing rate mention, like basically influences
Mhm.
when they raise next rounds. What will this happens? I'm telling him I'm curious about something. It's because it's a very important business value again to raise funds, weighted pipeline for the VCs. So I get that kind of information that is missing there, like kind of closing rate, but also the thing there. And then I will go to Jonas, single thread. I say, I enjoyed the discussion with the CEO after meeting Khalil and Mila, heard great expectations of him, and wanted to see how close they are to achieving that close rate that the CEO has mentioned. This is my whole tactic here.
Listen, and it could be the real one to play because they are closing their Series A right now.
Yeah,
So very relevant in the sense that the CEO, is reporting everything to VCs
yeah.
with the objective of closing a Series A. So makes a lot of sense, and I like it.
And
But
I mentioned this because you did mention 1 million ARR. Usually you're in that stage where you're kind of like trying to raise funds,
yeah,
and the CEO is caring more about the raising, where the CRO is needs something to have kind of a pressure on. So you need to put one metric and
Yeah,
put the pressure on that one metric there.
I like it. But one question, D- don't you think that bypassing, because I'd be kind of bypassing my champions here. I'm uh, it's a pretty new relationship, so I'm
Yeah,
not 100% sure that Mila is my champion there because I did not test her yet, right?
yeah,
But I'm always very cautious with bypassing people in this kind of setup where everyone
yeah.
is new and everyone is trying to protect his territory. So don't you think it can be a risk?
It
It's
is always a risk. I mean,
it's involved both.
we're talking about tactics from the hood.
Yeah.
There's always a risk there.
No.
But
Okay.
this reminds me with a deal I had actually. It's
Okay.
a client we have just renewed this week, where I had a fractional CMO. She was my champion,
Yeah.
but she didn't want to take too much risk because she was new on the mission.
Hmm.
I had a VP of sales who was definitely the economic buyer, and the CEO was not involved much in the discussion. If I do believe in any sales cycle, if you're lacking the business value, like we always say, ask the three whys. Why? But it's
Yeah.
like a CRM hygiene. Okay, better apply the sales playbook, but why? If you don't know why, like from the person who's gonna sign your contract or the firm, that's something that always gonna miss. And I feel with RevOps especially, I already posted on this on LinkedIn, Rida. I think half of the RevOps already hate me for this. Most of the RevOps are very good technically, very, very good. They always think about fixing technical problems. But I feel in many cases, they lose the bigger picture that the CEO cares about, which is the three whys. So this is not bypassing, I would say, Mila. This is getting that information that is missing and making it shorter. And by doing so, you're also saying great things about Mila to the CEO. So I would say this is kind of my in the hood tactic, I would say.
Yeah. And I don't know why I'm feeling that you'd stick to the hood tactic. We don't need to go to the classic tactic because it actually the whole idea behind this is pushing people outside of their box of thinking. But you
Yeah,
are a hood guy, so your box of thinking is the hood, right?
that's true. That's true. I would say I do. To be fair, I do this on some of my deals. Meaning, I would say 20% of my deals I do some of the hood tactic. It's usually two things. If I don't feel the pain was like enough, if I don't get enough pain from the discovery, it's probably the pain is not felt at the person at my champion. It's felt
Yeah.
at the decision maker. So I need to do this. Other thing I do sometimes, which is I would say it's less of the hood tactic. So this is more of the classical part, is I always like that my prospect leaves with a homework to do, light homework. So it feels like we're both bringing something to the table by the next call.
Okay.
And when it's RevOps, it's more than other people. They love to do homework. They're like we say in French, bon élève. They're very good
Yeah.
students and they like to do the work. So if you give them a homework that while doing it, they will see more and more the pain,
Yeah.
that usually helps a lot in
What would be the homework?
in this case, I would say I'm gonna ask the RevOps to understand what's their playbook, so they already know it, and
Mhm.
then in their playbook, how long should the sales cycle be, and who are the decision makers, and I will tell her to go check the last 10 deals and see how many deals fit to the playbook. And then if it's 3 out of 10, I think that's
I
something
think
we
the,
pitch to
the,
Jonas.
the answer would be more 0 out of 10 because it's still very freestyle. And it's exactly that. She's been hired to make those metrics
Yeah,
match and feel coherent. How you go from meeting one to meeting two, what needs to happen before meeting one, stuff like that. So that's exactly why she's been hired. Um, okay, that's very cool. I like the approach. I'm like you, and when you go for the hood tactic, you need to be conscious of one thing, which is actually the game of selling. It's you are going either to make it with much more value and understanding of your deal, or you are going to break it, and at the end you didn't have a real deal there. So it's a very good way of approaching your sales cycle,
Yeah.
which is okay, it's either I'm going to move to the next step, but really move towards closing, or I'm going to clean my pipeline and have something that and avoid losing time and wasting time on something that would never close.
Worst thing a sales manager can have is a mirage pipeline.
Exactly, exactly.
My previous company where I was at, Pigment, one of
Hmm.
the top successes in France, I would say, in terms of unicorns.
Yeah.
One of the things we had, the sales cycles are very big, they're very long, and the deals are very big. So the average deal, I would say, is about 500K.
Hmm.
A lot of the AEs, if they don't have enough good deals in their pipeline, they will add sometimes way too extra information in the CRM that
It,
it's
it,
an
it
overkill.
happens. Listen, Fidi, I've been in this game for almost 16 years, and it happens way more often that you
Yeah,
think. It's something very common. You
that's
know,
my point.
yeah,
That's
it's
my point.
something very human. They
Yeah,
do it. It's not that they are trying to cheat, but it's a way to reassure themselves about that something is going to happen. Hopefully.
exactly. Like a Hail Mary that's going to happen. And
Yeah.
that's my point.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
why I think if you scale your sales team, even if you have the right data in the CRM, it's dangerous if it's manually put because there is a lot of subjectivity by sales.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
that's, I think, one of the things AI can help with.
Yeah. So listen, while we are building Nudge, it's something that I'm trying to put into our AI brain, which is the hood mentality. When Adi goes through a deal and does a deal cleaning to give recommendation, they'll do it, she will do it with this thing in mind, which is we need to know whether we are going to move forward with
Right.
it or not.
Yeah.
Okay, so to wrap it up, let's see what Adi says. Strategic advantages, zero extra admin adoption. So, getting back to the point you were mentioning, which is don't feed data manually into the CRM because it adds a lot of subjectivity and you lose quality in it.
Yeah.
uh, Pilot to scale certainty. I need to structure a pilot when I talk to the VP of sales with one volunteer AE, and I need to define success metrics before full commitment. Directly addressing the tool fatigue, which is you pay only once you've seen value into what we are bringing.
Yeah.
Manager in the loop efficiency, automate deal review prep, giving managers like Khalil consistent context without manual piecing together, which make a lot of sense. But what's missing in Adi's recommendation is the revenue operation view, what you mentioned. So how to counter competition, pilot first approach, quantify the cost of inaction. That's something I do
Yeah.
100% of the time. What happens if you don't do this or that, and how much it would cost you? And
Actually, on this, Khalil, I think I will add something to Adi,
yeah.
which is for RevOps. I love always to do it with them. I tell them, I don't think you need us. You guys will go have 5 automation tools and do it internally.
Of
But
course.
But can you just have the time to maintain it and other things?
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
if you don't tell them this, they will always think they can do it, but they don't think of the time and the resources they need.
100%. It's whenever you have a revenue operation in the loop, they will all end up saying, yeah, but I can do it by combining this with that. And they never think of the maintenance cost
Yeah,
of this, as we say in French, usine à gaz that they are
yeah.
going to build. So yeah, 100% agree. And here cost of inaction, we need to correlate it according to Eddie to FTEs, hours spent, which makes sense.
I would say valuation too, because if your pipeline is a mirage and
Yeah.
you don't close that much, your valuation on the Series B or Series
Of
A,
course, yeah, but that's something that I pitched to the CEO.
of course, not to Jonas.
Yeah, yeah. So one thing you pointing out that is missing probably here in Adi's, it's not that comprehensive for each type of persona.
Yeah,
Is very selective on who to talk to, and she's not comprehensive on how to address top to bottom different kind of buying persona. Last thing she closes on, which is landmines to avoid, which I like a lot, which is get out of the tool fatigue skepticism, because
yeah.
they've been there and they are kind of skeptical to adding another tool. Vague ROI, don't focus exclusively on qualitative benefits, which makes sense. If it's not quantifiable in real money, no one will buy it.
Yeah.
And avoid being on the champion of engagement, meaning don't keep your discussion only with Mila
Mila.
and Khalil. We need to get it to the economic buyer who till now is identified as the VP of sales, Jonas. We will
Yeah.
understand next meeting if he really is and has the signing authority on that.
There is one thing, this is my view. This is not like neither medpic, neither band.
That's the new sales methodology, Fady from
This
Top.
is the Fady sales methodology. I insist on this. People buy from people.
Yeah.
And the pains, I don't think any company has a pain. I think it's all a mix of individual pains. The CEO, if he doesn't have enough revenue, he will not raise the fund as he wants. He has a risk of failure there. The VP of sales has a different risk. His number one risk is getting fired, not making enough bonus, or risking this. So I'm obsessed with one thing in my own deals is to note what is the cost of induction to each of them, CEO, VP of sales, AE, and ask them questions that will remind them of this individually. This is one thing I really love to do.
Yeah, love it. Listen, I see myself in you few years ago. We have very similar approach of selling, and I like that. To wrap it up, because we've went a bit over timing. Thank you so much, Fede, for coming in, bringing that energy, your interest to this. You are the first one to sit at this table. I really enjoyed it. I hope you too. And